And as they say in the film business, that's a wrap. FanFest has now called it quits for the 2025 season, and with that, we can move on to the next season of fun, that being
Mega Movie Summer.
But that's not what we're here for today. We're at the studios to check out what's going on after Mega Movie Summer, that obviously being
Universal's Halloween Horror Nights.
Now, that's not to say that we're not going to overlook what could possibly be an even more amazing season of fun for Universal here, but let's be honest, there's a lot of moving parts in this place, and well, I don't think we can get through all of them in just one trip. So, well, here goes. First and foremost, since we haven't been here in a little while, I guess I'll get a little update on what's going on over here next to the Jurassic parking. The going rumor still seems to be a security entrance. This is very big.
Real life.
Very big.
Endeavor for a security entrance. Now, I won't go so far as to say that it's going to be an additional parking structure, because I don't think those little holes that are dug out next to the structure now are deep enough to actually put more pillars into. That being said, they are laying rebar over there on the other side, and that's kind of far away from where the entrance is going to be.
Wait, I'm going somewhere with this.
So whatever it is, it's going to be, I think, bigger than a security entrance. So it could be like security entrance plus with bonus grab and go station.
You serious?
But I think this is phase one prepping for when that hotel eventually comes up at the entrance of Universal. Just a thought, I don't know, but this is what it looks like now.
Everybody, welcome to Universal Studios Holiday. Have a great day, have fun, everyone. Now we're talking. Day, have fun!
Real ones, no. Real quick, while we're waiting for 20 minutes in the security line for some reason today, we'll talk about CityWalk. I don't know, CityWalk seems like it's coming along. There's a lot of stuff that's been happening since I've been gone. Escapology opened up. There still really hasn't been much movement on that other security entrance over by Margaritaville, but there's a lot of shops that are gonna be popping up. There's a big rumor that Johnny Rockets is going away. What it gets replaced with, we have no idea. I'm hoping the nightlife starts to open up over there eventually, because CityWalk's desperately gonna need it when they turn this place into a full-blown resort up on the top of this hill. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. That was a process. Getting through security anyway. Once we got to the front gate, it was easy peasy. We were in and out in like 2 minutes, but that front security entrance this morning was woof. But now that we're in the park,
let's go see what's up.
Well, it's good to know that if at any point you start missing FanFest a little too much, Cork's Cafe is still around, so you can trigger your cerebellum with a tasty FanFest burger.
This is a tasty burger.
Or Kardashian dog, whatever it is. If Wicked was any indication with how long they're gonna keep this theme here at Sunset and Dine, I'm assuming this will be here well into 2026, so you've got time.
Oh man, hey.
And because FanFest ran its last night, obviously came into the Universal shop to see if the merch had been dropped yet. She's doing it right now, but what I was told is that it's not going to be all of the items, just the stuff that has FanFest logos and stuff on it. Just the stuff that represents FanFest this year is going to drop first. So there's still a bunch of Dungeons and Dragons, Jujutsu Kaisen, Star Trek stuff all over the place here that you can get, and Back to the Future, I guess. But anything that does not say FanFest on it is not going to go on sale yet. So we're going to have to wait for that. But if you want to get actual FanFest night stuff, this stuff is dropping today. So basically, this stuff right here when you walk in the front doors.
I'm Captain Obvious.
And it looks like we're also back to shutting down this side of the park until 11 o'clock in the morning.
Kind of a weird choice.
And what is going on?
And even though the plaza is not going to be home to the Flux capacitors anytime soon, they're still going to be using it for Grad Bash, baby. It's Grad Bash season. Oh, Shrek and Fiona. They're up early. All right, everybody, welcome to the Industrial District. I mean, there's not much else to do right now. I guess we can go check out Hogsmeade. Hogsmeade really isn't all that bad right now. 10-minute wait for both rides. The only problem is there's not a lot of shade, so it's kind of hot. But there really isn't a whole mess of people here. The crowd seems to be kind of flowing through really well. So there's that. But I see it as like you're walking on the surface of the sun, so get in and get out as fast as you can, especially while these wait times are low. Okay, but while we escape Hogsmeade and head to the next land, we have a little bit of time to talk about Halloween Horror Nights Speculation Houses number 1 and 2, that being what's on the H lot, the Curious George lot, if you will. One seems to be Terrifier, and it looks like since they added that little design on the top of the facade there, they kind of halted construction altogether. I think this might be because I think John Murdy might have seen that we figured it out, so they're going to go ahead and wait to announce this before they continue, because I think at this point, any addition to that facade is just going to give it away completely. completely, and he wants to be the one to announce that, not have us figure it out. The second one, obviously, is going to be Poltergeist. I mean, you can compare the facades from 2018 and this year, it's obviously Poltergeist. So there's those two, and that's kind of what they look like today. Awful lot of room to walk around in Springfield today.
So much aerobics in here. So many activities.
Could this be a sign of decline? In mine eyes, I think sign.
What the f?
I can't rhyme.
Swing and a miss.
I guess a lot of that could be due to people already being in line for Krusty Land. So 35-minute wait already now. That doesn't necessarily mean that these lines are long, but contrary to popular belief, despite there being a lot of simulators in this building, it really doesn't load and offload that fast. This line doesn't move that fast. So 35 minutes could mean only like a few cycles, but because it takes forever to get on and off this ride, maybe that's a reason why they're thinking about demoing this building altogether when they change this land over in a couple years.
What was that last one?
Oh, thank God, they got the cattle fans working today. And here we are with the Hillside Mystery Project, building that big old wall here that's hopefully gonna widen this pathway here a little bit more. Maybe we get enough room for some trams to go in and out. I don't know what these two walls are here. I guess we'll figure that out as time goes by. But yeah, still digging out this big wall here. So I'm guessing pretty soon maybe we get them starting to get rid of this part of this side of the hill once they finish with that retaining wall there.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything
That could be considered a rational thought.
Settle down, kids. It's time for a silent disco. Okay, before we go any further into the lower lot, I'll take this time to talk about two more mazes that are being constructed right now down here. One being the Teapad, which is all but confirmed is going to be Scarecrow. I'm not going to get too much into that because it makes me sad talking about having Scarecrow back already. But the other one is starting to take form a little bit. My initial theory was that they were going to run it backwards like they did back in the day with The Shining, and I think Chainsaw Massacre was back there and whatever. Those kids had fun on that ride. But the stuff next to the Mummy, but they started building this facade, and now it is where it is, and it looks like this is going to be the entrance again. I'm not sure how they're going to fit this with the Hillside construction going on. People are telling me that the Hillside construction is just going to be done by the time Horror Nights open, so they're not going to have to worry about that. But that would be great. If not, this has been rumored to be Friday the 13th with the new acquisition from A24. We'll see what happens. Right now, I'm not sold on this being Friday the 13th, and I'll say that this is probably one of the only mazes that I'm not sold 100% on and going with the rumors. So let's move on. They're also putting a house up on the backside of the Jurassic World queue again, like they had done a few years ago. It's nice to have this set back again. Anyway, this one's rumored to be WWE. Not sure how that's going to work. It's also the one that's the hardest to get any kind of vantage point to because everything to get close to it is shut down. John Murdy, I'll play your game, you rogue.
Oh, I'll play your game, you rogue.
I won't necessarily win, but I'll play it. And one of the reasons I can't get back there is because that queue is just too darn long, as is the case with both of the rides down here on the lower lot. Mummy's at 40, Jurassic is at 35, so without Transformers to kind of eat away some of that. Oh, there's Megatron.
These two were built without a personality. Informed them I was severely disappointed with everything about them. 1,000 deaths, Prime. No.
Bitter much? Anyway, like I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by my OCD. They need Transformers to kind of eat away some of these lines here, but the reopening is nowhere in sight, so we have to see that. But speaking of Transformers, did they finally repaint this Megatron and Optimus in the front here?
That detective
Is the right question.
There's nothing else going on down here in the lower lot. I'm not going to even attempt going into Super Nintendo World right now because...
It just do darn hot.
Oh, also real quick before we head all the way back up, are we ready for this Mosasaurus splash down here for Mega Movie Summer? Word on the street is you are not going to be safe at all. It's going to be like any seat you're in, you're about to get stoked. While we're over in the Parisian area, we'll talk about this one that has, since last week, been dubbed the Monstros III maze. I will not attempt to pronounce the actual lore that's going to be following because, well, you all know why.
You know I don't speak Spanish.
This facade is actually really tall. You don't even need to really peek up over the wall to see what they've got here, but it's a very tall maze. It looks like it's going to be pretty good depth. I don't know, but right now it's just wood, and until we actually see some sort of skin start to form on this bone, I think this is just we're gonna have to just go with what the speculation is. Just Monstros III.
What the hell
was even that?
Meanwhile, in France,
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
well, this week we got super duper lucky that we came when we did, and we got to actually take a sneak peek at what these ride cars are going to look like. But the new cars are in there, just like we thought they were. That's obviously why they got the tarp up on the show building, and they're working on them. So who knows? Maybe those sneak out here in a couple weeks, and maybe we get some ride testing. Word on the street is hopefully June we start getting the testing. I don't think they're going to be able to really start testing until they finish the retaining wall. I don't know how long that's going to take to go up, but I know that they want to finish all these catwalks before they move on, and then they can move on hopefully to this soundproofing wall. But I mean, they've got the structures already built in the ground where they're going to put them, so that shouldn't take too long, I wouldn't think. I think that the next step is testing.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
The ride for months and months and months, which I'm very, very, very excited for, because here, watching those cars roar through these inversions and loops, and as they call them, swoop-a-doops, is going to be fantastic. And I really, really hope that that little house structure up there that they're working on the roof, I really hope that that is extended queue, and they're going to have some sort of plexiglass around it so you can watch the ride cars kind of zoom by, because I think that would be really, really dope. I'm very excited for this ride, you guys. I'm very excited for what this ride means for the potential of this park and the growth that the future is going to hold. Get excited. Real talk, this section's starting to look real enticing.
Do it. Do it.
But bringing it back to the subject of Horror Nights for a second, we were talking about where that Friday the 13th tent was kind of going up, and I gotta be honest, if I can just give my 2 cents here for a second, just bear with me for a second here.
Here we go, buckle up.
If we were to put Friday the 13th here in the UBE stage, where they can keep it cool, climate control it, really make it cold like you're really in a campsite, I think this would be a better spot for Friday the 13th, and then you can put Fallout, which is currently speculated to be here, down there on the lower lot, and I think that might be a little bit better. And thus concludes another segment of,
You know what really grinds my gears?
You know what really grinds my gears?
I've been saying for a long time that this is the kind of stuff right here, this is what makes the magic. Let the characters roam the park. Okay, all that being said, I think I'm done for the day. I think I got everything that I needed to get. I guess expect summer to be here at Universal Studios. There's a lot of people. The security gates are still kind of overflowing, but I think a lot of that has to do with it's training season. So you're gonna have to be patient because a lot of the new employees are just learning their job. So keep that in mind probably for this next week, 2 weeks. The training process is generally 2 weeks, but a lot going on, a lot to look forward to, and I'm excited about Universal Studios. But for now, it's time for me to be a dad. And by that, I mean a taxi. So until we see you up on the mountain here at the studios, or right back down to the farm, we'll catch you all on a flippity flop.